Another Woods report. So this one is later. You think you're gonna like this time, or we're gonna go back to another time?
We'll see. That other time is the problem, though,
because it interferes with work.
We have a business.
We own our own business,
and a lot of our clients still request that time at that time.
Okay.
And then too, when I'm running errands, I have to get back for the show.
And you think 7 o'clock is too late?
Well, that's the thing we didn't ask when you did the survey. Is that East Coast time 7? Because some of you guys were saying 7. Is that 7 East? That means that's 8 o'clock.
So do I put another poll up this time, being more clear?
Because we have some evening meetings that sometimes start at 7, so that's a hard time for us.
Okay,
but we'll see. We'll just try this 6 o'clock time.
Well, I don't have no picture. You probably have to say the thing. I do it, but a lot of stuff going on.
Upload?
No.
Okay.
So, Michael Jackson is probably rolling over in his grave because Usher and Michael Jackson.
Chris Brown and Usher.
Got in an altercation over the weekend.
What would Michael have said? I wonder if he was alive.
Okay, guys, everybody calm down.
Not fighters.
No, everybody relax. Everybody calm down. Everybody, you both love me and I love you. Yes. And we should love each other. We should love each other and look at the man in the mirror and all this other stuff. And
change his ways.
Chris would have been drunk or drugged out of his mind, allegedly.
Okay.
But he would have danced away if Michael would have been alive and said
he
that.
He would do the moonwalk backwards.
He would moonwalk. Somebody should have yelled that. Somebody should have said, "Moonwalk away from each other, y'all."
Walk away. Yeah. They probably look at you like, "What's she saying?"
So what happened was, because you don't know this, you didn't follow this story at all. They was at Usher. Usher's been doing his residency in Vegas. Okay. And he's been in Vegas because he has his residency in Vegas, and he had this Lovers and Friends concert in Vegas. And he threw Chris Brown a birthday party in Vegas. Okay. Because he said that's his little brother. Okay. He looks at Chris Brown as his little brother.
Okay, because he is older.
Yes. Okay. And he came before him. And what a lot of people don't know is they asked Usher, "What's one of your biggest regrets?" in an old interview. And he said not taking Chris Brown under his wing. They brought Chris Brown to him when Chris Brown, before he became famous. And his Usher said he wanted him under his wing, like with his people, and kind of mentor him. And his people said no. They looked at Chris Brown as a competitor, like he's going to replace you. So you don't need to bring him under your wing. You know how some people are.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. You don't need to bring him under your wing because he's going to replace you. He's a younger version of you.
But he's still in even though he has similarities, he's still in his own lane. They're in their own lanes.
Yeah, they're in their own lane, but Usher's people saw Chris Brown as a threat to him. And so they talked him out of it. And he said that's one of his biggest regrets. Maybe Chris Brown's life would have gone different had he come up under Usher.
That's true.
And was because Usher was kind of mentored from Michael. So if Chris would have taken Chris Brown under his wing, maybe Chris Brown wouldn't have gotten caught up with gangs and all this other stuff.
He would have been maybe gone a different direction on decisions.
Different direction.
Not bad decisions.
We don't know.
Not even the Rihanna situation.
Right. We don't know.
We don't know.
But he's saying that's one of his biggest regrets. That's an old interview.
Wow.
That he had. Yeah.
It's unfortunate that his people
talked him out of it.
Felt that way.
Yeah.
Because it's who's to say a lot of artists feels that way.
A lot of them feel that way.
They don't connect with the people they want to connect with because of what others are saying.
Right. A lot of artists feel
you should get with them.
If the artist is still active, if they're still out there, their people will try to talk them out of that. So basically, that's the main.
You saw that in an interview.
That's somebody showed it in an old interview. Oh. They asked Usher, "Do you have any regrets in your life?" Okay. And he said, "That's my only regret in the music industry.
Under my wings as a mentoring."
Yeah. Okay. So,
so what happened here though?
So, with that in mind, keep that in mind that he sees Chris Brown as a little brother.
Okay.
And this is an old interview where he said that's one of his regrets. So with all that in mind, because I had to keep all this in mind when I heard this story.
Right.
It makes more sense of the things that happen when you keep all of that in mind.
Okay.
How Usher feels about Chris and how Chris probably feels about Usher.
Okay.
Things like that. So like I had to scrape and do it myself. You didn't take me under your wing or whatever. But now they have the same management type of people. So they are kind of under the same umbrella. It's just that Usher is more marketable than Chris is.
Okay.
Ever since Chris had that incident with Rihanna.
He had some bad boy issues that kind of scarred him a little bit.
Ever since he's had that issue with Rihanna, he hasn't been able to escape that.
Yeah.
So he is like you said, the bad boy Usher. Okay. So they were at this birthday party that Usher threw Chris, and they were showing the tape. They were singing happy birthday to him. Lil Bow Wow was there. Bow Wow's heavy now. He don't even look. He got a whole round head and a round body.
He fat.
He looks like a snowman. Because he's short. Because he got a little round head and a round body.
Buff?
No, it's not buff. He's fat. Why would Bow Wow get fat? He's little.
Is he depressed?
He is because he beefing with JD. So and that's his dad. You see how these guys? That's like their dads.
That's his dad. Like
father figure, and he beefing with him. So JD can't step in and say nothing.
You said a snowman. That's not a good shape.
No, he looks like a snowman. And what's his name?
Well,
you should let me love you. Let me be the one to. He was there.
Okay.
That had the verses. He came back. His career then came back.
Mario.
He was there. He sung happy birthday to Chris.
Okay.
Chris was happy.
So what happened?
Chris was smiling. He was happy. You could tell he was a little lit.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, Lord.
And Usher was singing. Everybody's singing and having a good time.
It was a happy birthday for him.
So they're skating. It's at a skating rink.
Okay.
They're skating and they're singing and everybody's doing R&B music and singing and all this. And in walks Tiana Taylor. Now.
Tiana is the one that...
Tiana, how do you explain? You know Tiana, the dancer.
Is she the one that was under Coming to America?
Coming to America.
And she played the new wife for the guy.
She's the one that's multi-talented, but her career has never taken off.
Because she doesn't know what lane to be really popular in.
She said the people who she entrusted her career to, like Pharrell and Kanye, they dropped the ball on her. That's what she said. And she's right. They didn't really push her.
You see her do a lot of things. What do you think she should stay really
focused on? In my opinion, she can sing. Tiana could do everything. But to me, she's an excellent choreographer. And that's the lane I think. And I think that's what she's doing. She's
dancing.
She said she retired
from singing. When I first saw her and I got to know her, like some of her stuff, I was trying to figure out what does she do. And they even had a reality show.
She does everything.
Her and her husband, right? And her little kids.
And so he wasn't
dancing. She's
now keep in mind, her husband wasn't there at this party.
Oh, okay.
And things might have went down different if he was there.
Ooh,
okay.
Okay.
So she walks in and Chris loses it.
Why?
They said he's like, get this B out of here.
He does not like her?
They were best friends. She calls him her little brother. To the point to where when Chris and Rihanna had that incident, she took Chris's side. She didn't say, she said
it was right to do what he did.
She said it's not right to do,
but let's forgive him because he's gone through some
stuff. And that's my little brother and all this. She took his side and it detrimented her career.
Yeah, because people were like bringing her down. Because anytime a man violates a woman,
and you take his side,
yeah.
So even to her career being influenced, she has always stuck by Chris. Well, this is such a long story. When Chris was supposed to do that Michael Jackson, we talked about this. That Michael Jackson tribute on, I think it was the American Music Awards or MTV Awards, whatever. They canceled it, remember, last minute. And they said because they didn't want abuser and an abuser saying, giving accolades to another abuser. Chris says it's because Sierra and Tiana backed out of it. That's why they did it. And he says if they would have been in it, then it wouldn't have just been Chris Brown, the abuser, giving Michael Jackson, who they say, quote unquote, the abuser, accolades. It would have been Sierra and Tiana in there too.
Okay.
But because they both backed out of it, because they said they had other engagements 3 days or something before the event.
So she really had a reason.
She had a movie or something she had to do.
He was mad about that?
He was mad because she backed out 3 days before. Like, you didn't know you had to do this movie and all this? So
I guess you would know about a movie.
Well, so he has an issue with her. So she walked into the place, the skating ring, and he went off. Get this B out of here.
And then he said he was lit, too.
Usher invited her. So he took personal thing on, I invited her, and you calling her B's and hoes and get her out of here. And he stood up for her. Now, that's what I said. It probably would have been different if her husband would have been there. Because the altercation probably would have came with Chris and her husband. Because you know her husband wouldn't have been sat there.
Right. Because he's not dissing my wife.
Yeah, and he ghetto too. So, and he tall and big basketball player. He would have definitely crushed some heads and bodyguards and all that would have got in it.
Yeah.
So, because nobody was there taking up for Tiana, Usher stepped in. Chris didn't like that. He didn't like the fact that this is my birthday party. I want her gone, and you don't want her gone, and you taking up for her being here when I feel a certain kind of way, which is stupid because Usher threw you the birthday party,
and you're feeling a certain way is weak.
You need to put that to the side.
You still got gripe and
yes,
because she bowed out of a situation, an event that you could have been.
Yes, so that's telling you that
he's very immature.
We thought Chris had gotten better, but he's still got some issues.
Still hurt. Yeah.
So
that's why I didn't like Haley's sister.
Oh, doing them.
I don't want anybody doing nothing with him right now.
That's why her album and that song failed, because there was a lot of women who didn't like that.
They don't like him.
I don't care, but yeah, whatever.
He's not. First of all, he has to get past that. This is not helping.
No, this doesn't help because we all thought he was becoming kumbayas.
Okay.
Like Mike Tyson. We talked about Mike Tyson.
Feeling a certain way.
Yeah. Nigga. So apparently this altercation kept going. Chris left. Now, I do agree Chris leaving was the right thing to do. Because if I'm going to get heated up and she not leaving, let me leave before I get into a fight. I know my anger. I know how I am. Usher followed him out of the building and followed him to the tour bus. I guess he was at his bus or something. People was like, why Usher follow him out? He should have left him alone. The guy is gone.
Some people would have
Well, I gave the background why I feel like he did. Dude, this is my little brother.
I'm doing this party for you. You really that angry?
And remember I gave started off.
You really want her to leave.
Right.
I mean, if you really, really feel like you don't want to stay until she's gone, maybe I'll talk to her and say he probably was like, let me follow him.
Patch it up. Let me patch it up. And that's why I gave the history of the beginning of his biggest regret.
Okay, how he felt.
Because he probably feels like this is my little brother. You're not looking good right now. Let me help you out or whatever. Well, I guess he found out your little brother is attacked. Because he came out there, I guess nobody knows what happened.
Like a pit bull.
This is all allegedly because nobody has any video of it that we know of. You know, somebody got a video of it. But apparently, what was told was that Chris Brown and his entourage jumped Usher. And they beat him up. Now, Usher showed up later on at the festival. Nothing was broken on him or nothing. So they obviously didn't
go back into the
They
party?
obviously didn't beat him to a pulp. But I believe that something happened. I think maybe some shoving, some shirt grabbing, some singing back and forth, some some moonwalking, some stuff going on between that butt.
On his head.
I dance better than you do. No, you don't. Somebody's hat was probably snatched off. Something happened where people said it was an altercation and that Chris Brown's people jumped him.
Wow.
So neither one of them have spoken about it. The only thing Usher did is he came on later and showed that his face was looking good. He wasn't messed up or nothing. He even took his clothes off on stage. You can see he don't have no ribs messed up. So, no
bruises.
Usher being Usher.
Scratches.
Usher being Usher. Yeah, so
I didn't get
I
bit
still
by
got
nobody.
A six-pack.
There's no knife cut on my arm.
And he was doing extra dancing on stage to show that he not messed up. My leg ain't broke, my arm.
Okay.
He was going above and beyond that night on stage.
So how, I'm wondering, with all of this, how is he feeling now?
Well, hold on. So Chris comes because he's supposed to perform at the same music festival.
Okay.
And he performs, okay? He's done. He's backstage. Another altercation happens between Chris and somebody else. And not Usher.
Okay.
Now, hold on for a second.
Does somebody else have to do with Usher?
Some guy backstage was saying something, and it was an altercation. Now, people say, oh, there's Chris again. He didn't attack Usher. Now he's attacking this other guy.
Goodness.
Now, Chris came on and addressed that allegation.
Okay.
He didn't address the one with Usher. Mm-hmm. He addressed the one with that guy.
Okay.
He said, y'all need to stop. I didn't fight nobody. My child was in the room. Now, we had another story about Chris Brown with his child being in the room. Remember, there was an altercation. Why is there always an altercation when his kid is in the room?
Is this a kid, somebody else taking care of the kid and the baby's mama's boyfriend or something?
Yeah, no. Okay. His kid is in the room, and whatever this guy was doing was loud or something.
And distracting the kid.
And he was saying, don't go in there. It was something along the lines of he don't want him to go in there.
Stay away from my family,
don't go in there. My child is in there. I don't want people around my kids unless I want them around me, which is understandable.
Okay.
And I don't know you. So that's why you see this video of him saying, I got this. But no, because he had that altercation with Usher, everybody went crazy. It was like, oh no, we don't want you hitting nobody.
So I'm surprised that he didn't, he addressed this one and gave reason for it, but he didn't do it with the Usher situation. Maybe because he was wrong.
Or because of the fact that, like I said,
how can you address something and you at fault? You did wrong. Or
like I said, it could have the fact of something to do with they see their brothers and they don't want to put that out in public. That's between us. We can handle that together.
We'll see where this goes.
So that's the latest thing with everybody talking about the Chris Brown and the Usher.
No one has addressed it so far.
What do you mean? Not the Usher.
Neither
situation.
One of them.
Neither one of them.
But you know
what?
Tiana.
She was at the concert. They showed her. No, they showed her at when Usher was on stage. She was dancing in the crowd, so she's happy too. But what I did notice,
she wouldn't have known because she wasn't outside.
Well, they was fighting because of her.
I'm just saying she couldn't say nothing about that.
What I did notice is nobody showed her when Chris was on stage. Normally, she would have been in the audience, so she's probably mad at him. And
going off at her like that.
And Usher brought out the Brat.
Oh.
And Jermaine Dupri.
He did.
Snowman didn't come out. Bow Wow normally comes out. I'm gonna call him Snowman. He didn't come out. You know he normally, that's the Brat, Jermaine Dupri, and Bow Wow.
Is Bow Wow feeling a certain way?
Well, he's mad at, I told you he's beefing with Jermaine Dupri. So he didn't come out on stage.
Yeah, why wouldn't
he? And then I noticed the Brat, remember she pregnant.
Yeah.
Big time pregnant. She running out on stage, she could barely breathe. She came out and did her thing. And as soon as she finished her verse, she ran right backstage. She did not stay on stage.
She couldn't. She pregnant.
And I bet you Judy, her wife, was probably back there going, hurry up and come back.
I
don't want you out there like that.
Stage work like you used to. And then she's heavier.
She's not. She thinks she Beyonce and Cardi B.
No,
you're not. You are heavy
Rihanna.
before.
Rihanna was dancing pregnant.
You're not a size 2.
Thank you.
Holding a baby.
Yeah. So maybe you should have just waved.
No, she came out. She did her. She didn't move as much as she normally do. And then after she finished, She left, and Jermaine Dupri stayed out on stage by herself.
Okay.
So it looked like it was a good festival. Everybody looked like they was in good spirits. Chris was in good spirits. Usher was in good spirits.
Okay.
If there was stuff going on backstage, we don't know about it.
So we may hear about that rumble that they had. We'll may or may not.
I think they did. I think it was shirts grabbed. Somebody said Usher's nose was bleeding. He might have got hit in his nose, but it didn't break. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he did have a bloody nose.
But my thing is, from when you gave the background of all of this, it shouldn't have come to any hands hitting on one another.
Chris allegedly,
or even his people touching him.
If Chris is allegedly under something,
he's given the party for this Negro.
He should have had what he should have done. Chris should have just, when Tiana came in there, he should just let it be. She not bothering you. I'm mad at her, but it doesn't matter. This is not my party. It's my party, but I didn't throw this party. Usher invited her. He threw the party. Let me just skate. Everybody have a good time.
There was a few little, like you're giving that scenario. There's a few scenarios that could have still happened that could have avoided the rumble at the bus.
Usher will know next time. I bet you he won't follow him outside again.
You know what? I'm surprised that he's regretting. Maybe he regretted before this incident.
It was years ago. That's what I said. It was when Chris was a famous.
Because I'm thinking Usher is like, I wouldn't want that girl on
so we'll
mentoring
see.
Him.
And maybe he still sees him as a little brother. But is there going to be a Usher Chris versus? Before they was talking about having one, because of this altercation, are they still gonna have one?
Chris needs to get his life together, really. Because when Haley's sister, what's her sister name?
Yeah, Chloe
in the whole video with him and doing any kind of collaboration with him, he's not clean right now.
Not yet.
So
I think allegedly it's the alcohol, and they keep saying he's on drugs.
He needs to stop drinking.
And the people he hang around.
Yes.
Because your entourage, why would you jump Usher?
Yes.
If anything, you would keep them away from fight. But if you got a bunch of gangbangers and
that's hanging
dumb
with
Negroes
you
hanging around
because their job is to keep you from fighting.
Yes.
Not
with Usher.
Beat up the singers that you. That was Michael Jackson, which I had pulled his jacket.
Oh my God.
If that was Prince, which I had pulled his ruffled shirt.
Can you imagine if they were still alive? And they followed him to his bus.
Chris,
and they beat up Michael Jackson. And you are, what's his name?
The bodyguard.
Chris Brown.
The fans would have told him up. You don't touch Michael Jackson like that.
So since Michael is gone and Prince is gone, all we got left is Usher. So leave Usher alone. He's the oldest one we got left.
Yeah.
That's still dancing around like that.
I'm just trying to figure out who this boy hanging with.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back to the top, everybody. Starlight says, hello, ladies. Wendy says, hello, girls. 7 p.m. my time, thumbs up. Okay, so she likes it. Starlight says, Usher mentored Justin Bieber. Oh, he sure did. Usher, that's who they, you know what? They probably did that because he's white. And his team probably said, you can do Usher, but Justin, but not Chris.
Justin has
because he's white. He can't replace you.
And he has a good sound.
Yeah.
So it was
supposed to be Chris.
Bad boy Chris.
Yeah. Wendy says playing Dionne Warwick. Starlight says usually bad things happen when folks gather on special events when they start getting lit.
No. Bad things happen when they get lit.
Starlight said American Music Awards. Okay, so it's American Music Awards. It has to do with Michael Jackson copyright. Oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens there. Wendy says Tiana Taylor confirmed she's playing Dionne Warwick in an upcoming biopic. Okay.
Oh.
Starlight says she's perfect for the role. Yes, she is. She kind of has that long head, like a Dionne Warwick.
We'll see how she acts. I've never seen her act.
She can act. She does.
Tiana.
The one thing you can say about Tiana can do everything. Okay. She's like Jamie Foxx. She can dance, sing, act, all of that.
I just haven't seen her.
She's funny too, but I don't know about stand up.
Okay. I haven't seen her acting other than that show.
Scooby Doo says hello everyone. Hey Scooby. Wendy says yes, Starlight, she looks like her. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Starlight said at Wendy she does look like her, and Dionne did tell personally she wanted Tiana to play her. Wendy says she handpicked her. Starlight said, I wonder because Tiana took sides with Chris Brown that it helped to hinder her progress. That's what we was talking about. It did. I believe it did. Where am I at? Everybody saying hi. Emerald says, hey ladies. Hi, Wendy. Everybody saying hi to each other. Because he had Usher jump, Starlight says. Charlene, oh, this is a new person. Charlene Bowman says, Chris going to fight his way right out of the music industry.
Yes, he will. If he's not careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starlight said, at this point, Usher and Tiana need to distance themselves from Chris. Wendy says, Star, it will be interesting to see what she does with the role. Wendy's still talking about the role. Emerald says, Lenore, did you watch Bridgerton?
Yes. Is that Emerald?
Emerald.
I found the Charlotte Queen episode. I thought you threw me off when you said you saw the third season. Mm-hmm. And I said the third season is not out yet because the third season, Kim had me thinking the mom, the Bridgerton mother, is supposed to be dating and meeting another man.
Right.
But they did
it's the Black Queen.
It's a special on the Queen Charlotte.
Okay.
So thank you, Emerald.
So you watched that?
Yeah, right. Girl. I binge watched that one.
And she cracked me up. She fast forwards through the love scene.
Emerald, what you remember when we were talking about dark-skinned men and how
you said that man ugly?
That man is ugly.
Well, see, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
What y'all think?
No, we just had a whole show about people having preferences.
There's some dark men that are not that attractive.
Right.
He's probably the most unattractive one I've
seen.
But
there's some women who think he is. Just like Miles Davis. That's what I'm telling you.
I'll show you a picture of him, Kim.
All right. I'm already going to say he's not good looking because you know my thing is different.
Okay.
Let me see. Starlight says Chris Brown has been entitled. Yeah. Emerald says, yes, Chris needs to grow up. He is someone's father. Starlight said Chris Brown is a blood. Yeah, he joined a gang.
He is?
Yeah, he's a gang member.
That's not good, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When he went to jail, he didn't join that gang till he went to jail.
What is
they probably gave him protection, and then when he came out,
join them, they protected him in prison,
and they probably protected him in California.
Well, hopefully that don't mess up your career.
Okay, well,
we'll see.
Scooby Doo says I am in California, so 4 p.m. is okay. Wendy says, Lenore, did you watch The Shy? You haven't watched that yet, right? Emerald says that man was burnt.
Wendy, was it a new season? Or am I watching an older one?
No, you have to go back and watch The Shy.
Well, no, I remember I was watching certain... When what's his name got killed?
I don't watch it.
No, but you knew he played in... What's the 3 rappers? The group
NWA.
Yeah, he played in there.
Okay.
He was in The Shy too. I think he had murdered.
Okay.
So I go in and out, but I don't know if they have a new season now.
I don't know. I ain't watching.
Well, I'm asking
Emerald. Emerald says that man was burnt.
I'm gonna show Kim that man because we talked about there's some nice looking chocolate like a Hershey bar, and then there's some dark skinned men who are like.
Wendy
this
says,
one is like,
Wendy says, oh my God, Lenore, with a face. Emerald said, Scooby-Doo says, Emerald burnt, tee-hee-hee-hee. Emerald says, yes, girl. And Wendy says, it's the new season if you only saw her get violated.
Okay, I'll see it. I'll watch it.
All right, we caught up on everybody because y'all know if I skip somebody, y'all will be like, I said that 6 seconds back.
Like I always say, and I do when I say I pray.
Yeah.
Because I was praying for Ebony with her little comments and just hopefully she'll find a husband. I'm praying for Chris Brown that he seriously gets some help.
All right.
He has some anger problems and you don't mix alcohol with anger, dude.
Or any other drug.
Or any drug, yeah.
Allegedly.
You're right. Well, yeah.
Wendy says that was any race, Lenore. Starlight says I never heard of the show Bridgerton.
Y'all
Wendy
watch
says
it.
that's what be said about any race, Lenore.
What's Shonda's last name?
Shonda Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes show, girl.
It's on Netflix, ain't it? What is that?
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Bridgerton, yeah. If you, it depends on if you. They have a lot of love scenes. You either watch the love scenes or you fast forward.
I try to fast forward, but not to catch any dialogue because sometimes they talking while they doing it.
Oh well, you're gonna miss the dialogue. All right, here we go.
No, because sometimes they just into their moment.
Scooby-Doo says I cannot get into Bridgerton.
Girl.
All right, so you watched The View.
Oh, have y'all seen Greenleaf? Y'all should watch Greenleaf if you haven't. Binge watch that. I hate that show ended. There's about a mega ministry, black ministry.
Yeah.
And what's her name that played in
whatever, Lenore. We gotta move on.
I forgot her name.
I don't know.
Black actress.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't watch
come
Greenleaf.
to me. The one that Samuel Jackson is in.
Scooby Doo.
Eve's by You.
Leela Morris says, word on the curb, Chris Brown versus Usher, all publicity. Might be.
Oh, we didn't think of that.
It might be.
Because they're not talking
about.
They're not talking
saying anything. So that you could be right, Leela.
We didn't think about
Scooby Doo
that.
says, however you spell it. Emerald says, Starlight, you gotta watch it. It's scandalous. Emerald says, I watched Greenleaf. Starlight said drugs make a person mean and alcohol causes depression. That's why I said allegedly.
On to something that they could be hyping up the for publicity.
Okay.
All
right. So I don't want to talk about this long, but
no.
The King Charles.
I watched the whole
coronation
with the king and the queen.
What did they say?
They had, I told you, some have good and some have bad. Some Whoopi don't talk about it because she don't follow that. Some people don't follow the royal family. And Sarah made a good point. Everybody else was like, oh, yeah, it was fine. Yeah, I'm glad he finally got the crown was too heavy or something. It was pros and cons about it. But Sarah did remind us, she said, y'all, we had just a major shooting just now. I don't care less about the king and the queen. I'm trying to wrap my head around all these shootings that's going on in our country. Thanking God we don't have that issue with the whole royalty family telling us what to do like they did years ago. But she had to remind us, and Sonny, who does the black card all the time, she said, I had to remind y'all the colonies and how they were built on the backs of black and brown people. Keep that in mind when you think about the kings and the queens over in England. Right. And I said, okay, Sarah, white lady, go ahead. Okay. Sarah said, I don't even care about that.
I didn't even watch it. I think I watched 5 minutes of it, of him in some horse-drawn buggy. And him and his wife.
They showed a picture of his son's little boy making faces and doing crazy stuff.
And then they were going into the castle. And then I was trying to say, like you said about the colonies, I was watching the soldiers. The few that probably represented all of the places they still have rule over.
Oh yeah,
like Jamaica and all them places.
Some of the islands, like Bahamas is one. They still have rule over Bahamas. Yeah. So and then they talked about the lady I went to pick food up from today. She talked about the Lionel Richie and he was so good. She was a Filipino lady. Okay. She loved us some Lionel Richie. She said she enjoyed the music part of it. Okay, so and the black choir. They had a black choir. Okay. One of the things that they did.
That same black choir that was at
I don't know.
That Megan and them thing.
I don't know.
They probably invite that same black choir.
One of the things the ladies did say on The View is that they're bringing a lot of back different ethnicities and a lot of. She said this is the most I've seen of black people at these.
Well, because they got a little black kid in there now, mixed kids.
So other than that, yeah, I was like,
I'm just looking at some of the comments. Somebody says Harry was not all the way in the back. Why would you say that, Sonny? He was in the third row. Section, he was in the third row along with the other non-working royals, his first cousins and their husbands. Yeah. He was not on the balcony because that was the working royals. And as we know by now, Harry's choice is not to be part of it. Somebody said Harry was not in the nosebleed section, Sonny.
They got mad at her for
He was in the third row. Don't aggravate unnecessarily, Sonny. And then somebody says, thank you, Sarah. I have too much anxiety about gun violence and being a minority in America to have the privilege of getting lost in the affairs of the monarchy.
Thank you, Sarah.
Somebody said Harry's book was on my mind, too, while I watched the coronation. King Charles has the most soothing, awesome sounding voice. Like when your guy rubs his hand on your bare skin. Enter cat purr.
Okay.
Some people weird. Some of y'all comments
took that to a whole nother level.
Some of the comments that we get to, some people are weird.
Well, you got to remember, some of these people are the ones that's going off, violating kids and hurting people.
I know, but even that,
the person at your next door
could be a weirdo.
Get off my grass. Psh, psh.
Yeah, these are weirdos. Let me see what y'all saying. Emerald, okay. Starlight said, Emerald, what channel? Emerald says Netflix has 3 seasons. Scooby-Doo says, I could care less, probably about the coronation. Wendy says, I am shown in the beginning of 21 Bridges with Keith David. Oh, from Greenleaf.
Are you? Greenleaf?
Yeah.
That was my favorite
So go
show.
and look at that.
I hated they ended that.
So we got to
show.
see Wendy in that.
And it's so true because we were part of a mega ministry. Half the stuff they did show on there did happen.
Emerald says, I didn't care neither, probably about the coronation. Oh, really, Wendy? Everybody said nice, Wendy. Scooby-Doo says, my show was Queen Sugar. Emerald says, oh, yeah, that's one good one, too.
Is that a Tyler Perry one?
I think, I don't know, or Oprah. It was her own, wasn't it?
I like the Tyler Perry
Wendy
ones.
says, yes, I have on a hat crying. She has a hat crying in whatever this is. It's brief. Scooby-Doo says he left afterward to get home to his baby's birthday. Starlight said, at Emerald, I don't have Netflix after they put on Cuties. And Emerald says, I don't know why Americans make such a big deal about the royal family.
And the history of the royal family.
Wendy says, hung with him all day.
When it comes to black and brown.
Exactly. We don't care. All right. So, unfortunately, we have to mention this. The Texas Mall.
That's
massacre.
what Sarah said her mind was on this.
This happened this weekend.
Trying to get her head clear.
It seemed like we was just here Friday.
I don't even know.
Texas Mall massacre gunman identified as witness describe horror of shooting spree that killed 8 people. The video that I saw had this guy, he got out of his car in the parking lot, took out his rifle. It's probably an AR-15. I think they said it was a rifle, an automatic rifle, and he just started shooting people. And this one black lady said her parents, he was shooting at them and they was running, and they fell, and that saved them. Because he thought he shot him. And he turned and started shooting in another direction. But he was shooting. They was running. And he was trying to shoot them while they was running.
Oh, Lord.
And she said what saved them is they fell.
He thought
I hope an angel put their foot out and tripped them.
Yes. Or tripped them. Oh, Lord. What, Ma?
She said that's the only thing that saved her mom and dad. Is they fell and he thought he shot him and then he turned and started shooting. And then they said, this one black lady said, people was getting in their car trying to get out. They got caught in gridlock. And when you can't, everybody's trying, and he went past and was shooting. So you thinking you get in your car to drive away and you put yourself more in harm's way.
I would have gotten under the car.
You can't fit under the car. The devil is alive.
I bet you I hold my breath. I hold my breath.
This girl said she would have
sucking in. Well, go down on the floor so he don't know. I ain't gonna sit up in the car in the line waiting to get him.
If somebody came in the
I'd
house,
be laying on the floor.
I thought about somebody came in the house and I had to get under the bed. That's it. I couldn't get under the bed. I be trying to squeeze under the bed.
Call on Jesus.
You know what? At that point,
it'll be an angel covering you.
Or you know what? or the gun person to be so like really that they don't even shoot me.
Stop and laugh.
But anyway,
thank you, Lord.
No, we couldn't.
I pray we don't even get to. Oh Lord, please! I don't want to go that way. Oh, this is sad.
Didn't even go in, just outside the mall. Remember I said that. I said they keep talking about in the mall, having security, having this, in the schools, having security. You can't do
nothing in the parking lot.
You can't, what do you do in the parking lot? You have all this security in the school and somebody just want to get out their car and just start shooting people, dropping their kids off. What can you do? There's no security, there's nothing that you can do.
This is
so
faith,
all of these
whatever faith you have,
whatever you just gonna have to look. It's gonna have to be like
and
back.
Just be ready.
It's gonna have to be back in the Bible days.
Oh Lord!
If it's time to go, it's time to go.
That ground opens up and you fall in it.
I think the youngest was a 5-year-old.
Oh wow! They said they moved the kid away, and one of the parent turned her over, and her face was all shot off. And
the parent's face was
one lady, her face. One man said he was going through pulling the bodies up. He turned the parent over and the little kid was still alive, it was like they poured blood all over him. It was just really sad. So that's what Sarah was saying. With all this happening in our country,
authorities have not zeroed in on a specific motive. They did, however, find stuff from this nut job. Mm-hmm. He's Nazi. And isn't his last name Latino? Okay. How are you a Nazi? 33-year-old Marcial Garcia.
You sound like Sonny.
Okay, go ahead.
Sonny said, I just don't understand.
What did Anna say?
Anna said, there's no color to people being in groups like this.
No, not that. I'm not that. Yeah,
she's saying, if I don't see myself as a Latino, I'm with them. We all.
But you're not. You're not Cleotis from David.
Yeah, no, he was black.
Yes, you obviously Latino. Why would you be with a group of people who don't want you?
And the sad thing about it, I know.
That don't make sense.
But they feel like if you remember that time when y'all remember when Farrakhan was real big and he was talking to the white supremacist guy, and they both said we both agree that we should be separate. Because Farrakhan feel like black businesses don't be by yourself. The segregation thing, don't integrate.
But he didn't.
And they both came in with the same goal, but yet different means, of course, get to it.
But you shot Latino people and everybody.
This Spanish man,
what is he?
Probably. Anna was saying there are people that are a part of these groups that are Latino. She said another guy that was ahead of something. The Proud Boys. He's Spanish.
Yes.
He's Spanish. The Proud Boys.
That's so stupid.
So I don't understand. Is the Spanish person thinking he white like them?
No.
Yeah, I'm discriminated too. No, your
they
last
don't
name
want you
Garcia.
either. They don't want you either.
What is wrong with you, Jose?
It says the gunman in Saturday's massacre was killed by an Allen Police Department officer who was off duty. He was at the mall on an unrelated call. Or unrelated call, it's not off duty. He was at the mall on an unrelated call. Now, this goes with my point. So, he took him out. If everybody was packing, he would have been taken out by 6 or 7 or 8, 9, 20 people.
It's like Wild Wild West, like you said.
The Wild Wild West.
Somebody in that parking lot somewhere may have their little thing and go, you got to go.
But then you got what happened with, we'll talk about that later, that Jordan guy on the subway. Now you got everybody's being a vigilante. Now it's like, I'm the hero. I'll take care of everybody.
That's the Wild Wild West. Because when we were just to watch,
and then a person be like, I wasn't even doing nothing.
The movie Rifleman? He would pull the rifle out real quick, and his son, his hand would be real quick. So it was about whoever pulled it out the quickest. But then it was like everybody was getting shot.
It's like, getting to where people don't want to leave the house, y'all.
Yeah.
Layla says, and the guy that drove into the bus stop and killed 8 people. Oh yeah, they talked about that.
Mm-hmm. So they did, and then they talked. After this, the View talked about the governor of Texas.
Yeah, I got that on.
And his comment, because they have issues. Chicago's having issues right now with the governor of Texas. Because of the immigrants coming in, and the mayor.
Why does Chicago have issues? They want them.
Well, no. Here's the thing: he's trying to be funny. Oh, y'all, the what you call the city's a sanction? What is it?
A sanctuary city.
Sanctuary city. You say you a sanctuary city. Here, take them all. And the mayor's like, can you give us heads up? They coming? Can we know how many? So now they're trying to talk to him and talk to his people and say, can you tell us how many are coming and really stop it?
Right.
Because there's other sanctuary cities too you can send them to. But he made a comment about this shooting as far as mental health. And the ladies was getting a little heated at the table because here's the thing. And they were all giving their views on the common Black people, mental illness, and you guys can amen it or not.
Who's to say that the guy had mental illness?
No, but here's the thing. We look at mental illness. There's levels of mental illness. You guys know that some of us who are okay, we can have a mental breakdown.
Right. And
our child, at that moment, something can happen where we see our child being hurt, mental breakdown. Now you're going to go and knock the person out or whatever because you don't have a history of it. But that moment, so there's levels of it. How do you monitor that? How do you check? People are going through a lot of things, from COVID, depression, a lot of things people are lonely now. They're not going out. They're afraid, fear. So they talked about that on The View, and Sonny says her famous comment, most people with mental illness are victims. That's not true, Sonny.
All right.
Most people with mental illness are not always victims. Some of them are the ones that's going out and doing it because they're so depressed or sad or angry or whatever.
Right.
But he made a dumb comment, and that they just talked about
and
that.
And Ted Cruz talking about you have prayers.
What did he say?
Right here. Spare us your prayers. Ted Cruz faces backlash after Texas mall shooting.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear we praying and all this other stuff.
Not doing anything.
People want to hear, what are you doing?
Are you trying to change the gun
what's
laws?
The answer? So what's the answer?
You got one group doing the mental illness and more places to help and more counselors. And,
so all
and
of
then
the
other
combined,
side, they don't even say the guns. They won't do the guns either.
They're not getting. I'm telling you right now, they're not getting rid of the AR-15s.
Well.
So y'all might as well come up with another thing. They're not doing it.
So no matter,
there's too many lawmakers make money from that.
But they keep
you gonna have to get rid of the lawmakers.
Yeah, that's what Whoopi said. You're gonna have to eventually vote these people out.
You're gonna have to vote them out because they're not gonna do anything.
They're not. They're gonna stand on that. Holding that that right to have it, right?
Exactly.
The right to
bear
arms.
Said you can have it, but you need to be able to go through more to get it. And if a gun manufacturer, if somebody has one and does a crime or something, then the gun manufacturer or whoever sold it to him has to be called.
But this guy probably was legal to have it.
That's what I'm saying.
These people are legally getting their guns, and they're just going out when their minds whatever go through things.
Let's see. Scooby-Doo says a right winger. Layla says, and the guy that drove into she talked about the bus. Scooby-Doo says, keep a bunch of books by the legs, and when your body lifts the bed, slide them under the legs to look like you lifted the bed higher. Oh, for me to get under there.
You know what?
Starlight said, ladies, a Hispanic could be black and on paper, and they have themselves as white. Same thing as Egyptians. We use mental health too much as an excuse to do wrong things.
Yes.
And Emerald says gun laws need to be changed and mental health should also be a priority. And then when
but it goes back to what I was saying earlier, though. Even Sarah had made the comment. Even with mental illness, if you come and say we need more of this, we need more of that, she said, "What's the plan? How you gonna do this? How you gonna help stop a man who just did what he did from going to a parking lot and doing the shooting?" Okay. You can't. That's a hard one. Go back to that documentary I sent you, Wendy. Remember about the prayer thing? Okay. It's gonna push people to just start praying.
So some of the comments: Republicans cut funding for mental health. Sarah, you know that. I'm glad Sonny stood her ground about the focus needing to be on guns. And somebody says, I don't want to be mean or rude to Sarah because she's a lovely person, but it's embarrassing that she's trying to blame mass shootings on porn and loveliness. On what?
She didn't say that.
Oh, it's her new talking point because she said it verbatim before. Anna is right. There's porn and loneliness all over the world.
Yes.
Stop dancing around the issue. The problem is the overwhelming number of guns in America and how unnecessarily easy it is to get access to them.
People keep saying that, though. I don't care what you say about the number of guns. It's not going to stop people from who legally got their gun.
All right, okay.
I don't get why people think it's the gun situation. Like you even said, taking away an AR-15 may not stop a person who has one already.
A person who is illegal is going to still have one.
Right, well, illegal or
but
legal.
I agree.
The legal people are doing the shooting.
But I agree, all these things should take.
And don't
mental
knock
health.
Them. Yes.
Don't cut programs on mental health. Yes, you should start cutting the way that people have access to guns, make it more difficult
all of
for
the
them.
checklists.
All of these things, but it's still not going to.
It's still not going to.
It's not going to stop it. But it may have more security in the schools. You know what I'm saying? Like these are deterrers. Like people can say, well, you can put a lock on your door, somebody can still break in. Right. That's true.
Thank you.
But I'm not going to leave my door wide open.
Right.
Let me put something
to make it at least
to
hard
make it a little. Maybe one group of people would not. Because of that, I put that in place.
But you know what's probably going to happen in some cities, in some states, what they did in Haiti.
Oh, the people.
I was watching an episode on one of them old Law and Order shows, and the family whose kids were shot in the school, the law, because the police didn't do their job or whatever, they had to let the kid go, and he had a mental problem, and he had did something to his sister too, so he had some issues, and the family was like, "You letting this boy go? He just killed 4 of the students, and one of was my kid. Let him go.
Okay,
I'll catch him." So people are going to take the law in their own hands like they do in Haiti.
Right.
And go and get the vigilantes and people that they feel are causing problems.
Emerald says, just like everyone isn't meant to be a parent, not all people should handle weapons. Scooby-Doo says, Emerald, true. I'm checking my message, Wendy, but we talking about guns right now. Mm-hmm. And Emerald says, plus I feel that you shouldn't be able to stockpile weapons either. So all of that plays into
they all just beat each other up with the politicians need to do. There's no right or wrong answer.
Yep.
They all need to do it all.
Yep. So it's a whole thing, but that's the latest on that mall shooting. The guy just steps out the car and just starts shooting people.
Nothing they could have done. Him having mental health.
Nothing.
If the flag went up, if his parent noticed it or something, or a friend or a neighbor I think he needs to get checked out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't know.
So going back to your Greenleaf, that's the guy in Greenleaf.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of
that's Wendy says she was with her hat.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah.
She says this is
was it the first season, Wendy?
I don't know how much you can see of this, but I don't know.
Was it the first season?
I don't know.
Who's the lady? What's her name? Lynn.
Oh, Winfield.
Lynn Winfield.
Okay.
She played the wife.
Okay. All right. Dr. Umar. Remember we talked about the Ebony K thing, and we went into the whole thing about she said she wouldn't marry a bus driver and all this
Dr.
other
Umar?
stuff.
Is he somebody known?
He's like this black guy activist, and he does not like interracial dating or marriage.
Oh.
So you know he was gonna have something to say.
Oh,
there's okay. Dr. Umar says he better not find out that Ebony K. Williams was engaged to a white man. I better not find out your ASS was swimming in the milk. Let me see. Do they have his video? Okay, listen to his video.
He done dogged her out.
I saw that sister on the Breakfast Club this morning. What's her name? Erica K. Williams. What's the sister who was on there with Charlamagne and Envy today? Very well-spoken sister. What's her name? I seen her. What's the sister's name, brothers and sisters? Ebony K. Williams. Well-spoken sister. She made some great points, but dear Ebony, that's not what you was talking, sweetheart. That's not what you was talking. You was on some talented 10th bullshit, and you tried to take it back to the community this morning, sister. See, we can't talk out both sides of our mouth. We can't talk out both sides of our mouth, sister. We can't talk out both sides of our mouth. I didn't disagree with much of what you said today, but that's not what you said the other day, sister. You was talking down to working class blacks.
Now, I said the same thing.
Yeah, you sure did.
When she was on the air, and this part irritates me more than anything. I said the same thing. When she was asked by Ayanna, would you date a bus driver? She said if he owns the bus company.
Well, own the bus, didn't she?
Owns
the bus. We're assuming the company.
And because the backlash came from that, her being a lawyer, that's why there's 100 million lawyer jokes.
Okay.
Switched up the conversation when she came back to reply to everybody and started talking about being mediocre, being middle class, or this, that, and the other.
Strive to be better.
You should strive to be better as black people. You know, you probably the guys that got mad. You brought home C's, and your mom and dad probably coddled you and said, "Oh, that's fine, honey, as long as you did your best."
Thing about wealth,
and the wealth, and all this, that, and the other. And then she went on to the Breakfast Club and doubled down again, and then she built a whole big surrounding around it. Now, the thing that irritates me is I've watched professional black women on YouTube, on other shows, come to her defense and say she should be able to have whatever preference she wants. Why is it wrong for her? No one's talking about her having a preference.
Even Sonny said that.
No one cares about her preference. That wasn't the original
whether she wants
discussion.
a bus driver or not.
So quit saying that.
Yeah.
You know, we got comments in our thing. Women should be able, I agree with Ebony. you guys are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She should be able to have her own preference. No one cares about her preference.
Thank you.
If she wants to date a man with one eye, no one cares.
I only
But
date men with
if you
one eye.
date a man with one eye,
I love that patch on the
don't
eye.
talk about everybody who has two.
Yes.
If you're a man and you don't want to date big women, I'm good with that.
Yes.
But you ain't gotta be like, you fat slob.
Women,
why would anybody want anything that thing?
Fat women are just
y'all should just you need to
miserable.
stay in the house and just diet until you lose weight. Nobody wants you.
Have your preference.
And I'm not saying Ebony said that. She didn't go that far.
Right.
But that's the way people took it.
They took it as
a bus driver.
Look, that's beneath me.
If he owned the bus, so you don't have a problem with the guy in the bus industry.
Because he owns the company.
See, that's different. If she would have said, would you date a bus driver? And she said, no, my son or somebody was ran over by a bus. I have a problem with buses. I don't want anybody in the industry of a bus.
Okay.
Whether he owned a bus, whether he washes buses, whether he drives a bus, buses creep me out.
Okay.
I don't want a bus driver.
Okay.
That's different than owning a bus.
Okay.
Because that means that you do have you're looking at financial.
Okay.
Never even thought about
at a
him.
level financially to support and help me as well.
And assuming that because he drives the bus, he don't have more money than the guy that owns the bus company.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I know, but the point is, she's allowed to have a preference.
You're allowed to have a preference.
And that's what people are missing. When you say, she reminds me of that, I can't remember the scripture in the Bible where the rich man came in and looked down on the old woman because and I'm thinking, how dare you lift yourself up?
In the Bible, the lady gave all she had.
Yeah, all she had.
And God was like, her giving that, whatever, let's say in today's,
more than what you did.
terms.
Yes.
You in church and they say, raise your hand, you know how they always do.
Yeah.
You want to pledge $1,000. And people raise their hand, they pledge $1,000. Most of the people standing up, some of y'all know them, $1,000 ain't nothing to them.
Right. It's like a little.
But you see some single mom raise her hand, and you like, now, but if she pledged $1,000, that's all she got. Well, that's stupid, but I'm just saying, in real reality, if you look at it a little different, because that's all they have. So my thing is, you can have a preference. Don't put down other people because they don't fit whatever your preference is. And who's to say your preference is right?
Right.
That's your preference.
I think too, when she started to go on the line of Black people should be in a place where they can earn wealth and want to do.
And that's what he's saying. I have nothing wrong with what you said.
Yeah.
I agree. Who doesn't agree with what she said on the Breakfast Club?
When you have opportunities to grow and
you
do better.
want us as Black people to have resources and have the money
own
to
wealth.
do. Who's going to disagree with that?
Exactly.
But I agree with him, and I'm not playing his whole 5-minute thing.
Okay.
Where he says, you fail to understand that there are also outside circumstances that keep people from having that. There was things taken from, there are Black people who was on Black Wall Street who had homes, who had banks, it was taken from them.
Yeah. Burned down, stolen.
And you asking their descendant, who is probably from once removed, it's probably their grandfather, to build from nothing. And then you saying how some people have something, and that's why they started off on a different playing field. Donald Trump's dad gave him $1 million.
I know.
To start his business.
Thank you. He had money given to him.
Now, that's not saying, even though I don't think he's as rich as he says he is, that he didn't work hard. He didn't take that $1 million and make it into what he has today with Trump Towers and stuff. But he gave him $1 million.
Yeah.
So really, it's not the same playing field.
So basically, it was the attitude, the pride attitude that it came across.
And I'm sick of Black women
belittling anybody that is in that role.
And I'm tired of Black women saying they agree with Ebony K. Williams. No one cares if you put in our comment, that you agree with Ebony K. Williams, we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that you agree with Ebony K. Williams. No one does. And you probably single. I bet you $100 you probably single, you probably make a lot of money as a black woman, and you probably old, like Ebony, 40, which most guys that's in that top 1%, why would they want you?
Now, he was hitting...
I know you don't want to hear that, but you might find a man, but your pickings is getting slim.
Did he mainly go in the direction of the fact that she talked about black people and do the wealth and things?
Well, his
she's
issue,
engaged with a white man.
Thank you. Envy brought up the fact that she was engaged to a white man.
Okay.
I agree with Dr. Umar, and let me say this. You don't have to be racist or be a person who is against interracial marriage. Right. He's against interracial marriage. I'm not.
Wow, okay.
I don't have a problem with interracial marriage.
Exactly.
But I don't want to hear you talk about what black men need to do, and you was getting ready to marry a white man.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a skinny size 9 or 5 woman tell big women what they need to do.
Unless she was my size.
Unless you was my size, and then you lost weight.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a man, unless you coming from a male perspective, tell women how to be women.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear women unless you coming from a...
Steve Harvey
which was dumb.
Books out there.
I don't want to hear a woman tell a man how to be a man. Iron sharpens iron, unless she's coming from a woman's perspective.
Okay.
I can say to you, this is what I feel women like to see. This is what we like to see in our men.
And even as a single parent raising a boy,
yes.
A single parent, this is the experience that I've had, and I've seen my boys, how they respond and stuff. So people know you're coming from an experience.
Yes, me talking about cramps to a young teenage girl starting her menstruation is a lot different than a man.
Unless
he's gonna, but he still can't. He can only say from what he thinks.
Okay,
it's the scientific way. Okay. But I can say, sometimes you're gonna feel like you're gonna want to rip somebody's head off. You have to have those mentors and those people in your life who not necessarily lived what you lived, but can understand it because they might have been in that same place. The best person to talk to you about cancer is somebody who had cancer.
Unless you are, now I can say there's a but to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Because there are situations where God has gifted somebody with that wisdom. They may, like, remember when we knew the lady in Chicago, she didn't have any children. She's never birthed kids.
Yes.
But she was an educator. She kept children. She adopted, she fostered children and whatever. Right. So even not having, she can honestly say, I never had a child, so I can't tell you about childbirth. So I know how far to go with the wisdom that I do have, but I can tell you how to raise this boy or to raise this girl.
Did she raise kids?
I think she did.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But that was a gift. Sometimes something is a gift or knowledge that you've gained, wisdom, a word of knowledge.
Right.
God can give it to you, or you can learn from it. Or like a doctor, like you say, a male doctor won't know the feeling of having a baby.
Yes.
But he's a baby doctor.
He could give you some,
and I respect his expertise.
Yes.
So that's when you say that, I kind of say there is some there's some buts to that.
But God also understands that as humans, we look at the package that is delivering the message. That's why Moses said, you want me to go and talk and I stutter? I can't even speak. And God said, don't worry about it. I got
Your
you.
brother
but I guarantee you, he didn't show up and say,
he might have. His brother did the talking. Pharaoh, let my people go.
Now, God either miraculously came in there where he could say, Pharaoh, let the people go, or somebody got to speak for him.
But
not him.
We've heard people's testimonies where they stuttered, and they are excellent speakers
when
right
it's
now.
Time to talk.
No, they don't stutter no more.
That's true.
So we don't know. The supernatural things can happen to a person where they just like, you're like, ooh, you used to stutter when you...
Now you look like the bottom of my shoe, and you want to talk to me about makeup and looking good.
Wait.
And your hair all messed up, and you looking like...
Remember who
you just rolled out of bed.
Remember that...
I'm not listening to you.
Reality show. I had taken another side of that. Remember that reality show with Fun Size DJ?
Yeah.
They was dogging that lady out saying she's a counselor. She's a
a marriage counselor.
marriage counselor, and she had problems in her own marriage.
She dating a dude that live at home with his mother.
I know. And then I'm like, see, you didn't discern that with your gift as a counselor? You a marriage counselor? You married a
And there's nothing wrong if you date the man that live at home with his mom. But don't counsel women who own their own homes
But you
about dating somebody. You gotta tiptoe in his house at night, not to wake up his mom in the middle of the night.
But the other side of that, we have gone to hairdressers whose hair look like woo, but they'll whip yours really good. So I don't know. You do get experiences from both sides where that person may not appear to be how they can make you or the information they can share with
But
you.
that's Envy was saying. That's kind of what Envy was saying. That
What?
people are saying, don't talk about what black men need to do, and you was dating a guy that's white.
Yeah, why didn't you date a black man?
Well, he goes in on her. So that's why I was saying Umar is.
But she
You
was
are
engaged.
a bourgeoisie. You are a bourgeoisie feminist, and I hope to God you wasn't engaged to a white man, because I thought somebody said you was engaged to a white man. Ebony, I better not find out your ass was swimming in the milk. If I find out your ass was swimming in the milk, I'm gonna lose a lot of respect for you, sister. Because what that tells me, if you were with a damn Neanderthal snow puppy, then you're telling me, at the end of the day, you are trying to condemn black men to justify dating white. If you are an interracial dater, if you are a bunny hopper, then what you are telling me is your whole diatribe, your whole rant against black men driving the bus was a justification so you can date a white man. I hope that ain't the case.
Now, I don't go as far as him.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dr. Umar, and it was funny
She
because
can date whoever she wants
she
to.
can date whoever she wants to.
Yeah.
Now, that part, that's what I'm saying. I don't go to the extreme on the other side.
Thank you.
Because you are dating somebody white or of a different ethnic group, you can't say nothing.
Right.
But we don't want to see you on national television speaking on behalf of black men, saying what they need to do, and you was engaged to a white man.
But
that's all I'm saying.
But I could say but to that. Like I said, there's another side of that. If that's her opinion, that's her knowledge
true.
that she's gained, just don't down people.
That's true. Don't
that's
down
the thing.
people.
With black, white, Hispanic,
That's true.
Asian, whatever
That's true.
man you talking
That's
about,
true.
don't down any of them.
That's true.
Because that right there is just showing how that's the lack of.
Because you're saying if you do it, let's say I am married, because that's Van.
Yeah.
From CNN.
Yeah, Van.
Van was married to a white woman.
Yes, he was.
And Van was always on CNN talking about black issues and black things. So I agree.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it,
Yeah.
don't down everybody that in that race. Because people gonna be like, really? And who you go home to?
Yeah. And that you should speak good about people anyway.
Yeah.
That should be something that's in our trait. We should always speak good, speak life into people's lives, speak good, speak positive, and try to build people up.
Yeah.
No matter what their color is.
All right, we passed our little hour.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, Scooby-Doo says, Wendy, we need your autograph from your picture. Wendy says, I was not in Greenleaf. I was in Chadwick Boseman's movie 21 Bridges.
Oh,
okay.
21 Bridges.
Yeah, I saw that movie too. That was
good.
Okay.
Okay.
Starlight says,
but the
Umar
actors
Johnson needs to build the school. Laughing out loud. Emerald says, I have seen it, Wendy, but I am going to peep it out again. Starlight says, yep, that's what I said too, that she downgraded the middle class workers.
Yeah.
Emerald says, I would date a bus driver. He's a BMW, a black male worker. Thank you. Starlight says, one eye. Starlight says, I'm so sick of black women agreeing with Ebony too. Emerald says, yes, pickings get slimmer and slimmer after 40 and 45.
Yeah, it does.
And Ebony is 39.
Oh, I thought she was 40.
Well, if she 40 now, I don't know. But it gets slimmer and slimmer.
It does.
And they don't want you. If they at that age, and she obviously shows, I saw her on Wendy Williams' show, she broke up with the white guy because during the pandemic, he wanted to shelter in place with his kids.
Yeah, you told me that.
And she said, no, he should be shelter in place with me. I'm going to be his wife. And I'm thinking, why would he shelter in place with you?
When you told me
over
that,
his kids.
When you told me that gave me some insight on her character, integrity.
So she obviously, her pickings is getting even smaller. Now she don't want a man maybe over 40 with kids. If he is over at 40, he has no kids. If he wants kids, not with you.
But it sounds like she's self-absorbed. She wanted it centered around her. Think about it, you guys. If the man has children and they need to, what's the word?
That was during the pandemic.
During the pandemic.
You don't know if you was going to be alive.
She was not his wife.
No.
She was his fiance.
And even if she was his wife.
No, I'm saying I get the wife part.
Oh, okay.
I get the wife because that's your wife.
No, not over your kids.
No, I understand.
You're a second wife.
Well, no. I understand the wife part, really, because that's his wife now.
Not over your kids.
No, I do.
No.
I do.
Well, we disagree.
Because that's his wife.
Not over your kids.
It's his wife.
Because you could get a divorce. I can't divorce my kids.
The kids probably need to be with their mom. Both of y'all need to be separate.
We don't know the whole thing.
I don't know. But I'm saying because she was not his wife.
Oh, okay.
For me,
at least with his wife, she would have some argument.
Exactly. Okay. But as a fiance, no, boo.
No.
His kids. He's going to be
with them. But I feel like kids first anyway, regardless. Because you could get a divorce from somebody, but your kids are there. Now,
you can't do that.
That's different. That's different than marriage.
Yeah.
I agree. Your marriage should be strong. Because if your marriage is not strong, your kids suffer from that. Y'all end up getting a divorce.
It needs to be a balance.
Right.
And there's situations where it's not. That's hard.
Yeah.
You got the new wife. That say the new wife and the kids don't get along. That's hard.
Well, then you still can. You got to find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you don't put nobody else over your kids, especially if that's a second wife.
She wanted it. Well, she wasn't a wife,
and not even a wife.
Yeah, she wasn't a wife yet. But if you saying that's what she said, that shows insight of who she is.
Starlight said, "I do have a problem when men or women intentionally go outside of their race because of self-hate." Emerald says, Kim, is he living at home with his mom or is his mom living at home with him? In that incident, the one you were talking about,
the reality show,
he was living with his mom.
Yeah.
Because he had got a divorce, wasn't it?
And the
wife took the house, and so he was living at home with his
transitioning.
And he was living at home with his mom. Yeah. But I agree, because our mother lives with us. Mm-hmm. We don't live with our mom.
Right.
Emerald says, Kim, okay. Scooby-Doo says, my cousin was a hairdresser for years, and when she did my hair, it was all over her head. She said that it made no sense to have it look good when she would be sweating. That's what you said. Some of the worst hair people are hairdressers. Their hair
not laid.
I agree.
But they can lay yours.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wendy says, kids first. Starlight said, balance is the key. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we run out of time, y'all. So all these other stories.
Yeah, do donkey.
Let's do donkey of the day. Tomorrow we'll talk about. I'll tell y'all what we'll do tomorrow. Come up with these things.
Unless something happens.
Well, let me talk about this because I don't want to talk about this tomorrow.
Okay.
The guy on the train, y'all. Everybody keeps talking about the homeless man on the train. That was hungry or something, and that Marine guy choked him out. You heard about that, Mom?
He took his life?
How two men's desperate paths crossed in the killing on the F train. This guy was a Michael Jackson impersonator. I'll just go down real fast. He was a Michael Jackson impersonator. His name is Jordan Neely. And you don't know this story, right? So this is the first time you're hearing it. Basically, Jordan Neely had become homeless, okay? Mm-hmm. And he was starving, and he has mental issues. He has a mental problem. Where he got on a train. And apparently, this is what eyewitnesses are saying. He got on there and said he was hungry, and that he didn't care if he had to go back to jail, and that in other words, they felt like he was saying if he would hurt somebody if he needed to get some food.
Oh wow!
Well, this white guy jumped up who was an ex-Marine, Daniel Penny, and he put him in a chokehold. And he was in a chokehold for like 15 minutes or something, y'all. Y'all know the story. If Lenore don't know it. But read the story. I was trying to see how many minutes. It was a long time. It was like
his life.
It was like, yeah, and the guy couldn't breathe, and he ended up dying.
Okay.
And there was two other passengers that was helping hold him down. Okay. So the Al Sharpton and all the other black activists, they've been protesting, saying that why is it that this man has not been charged with murdering this guy because he did a vigilante move. Right. So there's two sides on both of this. Apparently his mom died when she was murdered when he was young. And so that sent him into a whole mental thing. Murdered by his stepdad, I think.
Like I said, sometimes things can happen later.
And it derailed him. It says Mr. Neely's childhood was abruptly derailed when he was 14. He lived with his mother and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend killed his mom and put her in a suitcase. That's sad. So that probably sent him in a whole nother mind. His mind probably went somewhere else. Now there's two trains of thought. Pardon the pun, train. You have people like Candace Owens, who's a nut job, who on her show said she agreed with him taking his life because he walked on the train and was threatening people, and it didn't matter. He shouldn't have came on the train and did this and that. She doesn't care that his life has been taken. Okay. Candace is an idiot. I told you that. And then you have people in the middle. You have people in the middle who said, okay, well, if he was mentally, and if people felt like he was a threat, and then this guy jumps up and puts him in a headlock, then he maybe saved what people thought saved the people that was on the train. But it's sad that he passed away. They're not like Candace that thinks he's happy he died.
Did this guy try to put up a fight? He didn't look like
he was trying, and two other people was putting his arms down
to hold him down.
Okay. Then you have the other side, which is the people that are protesting and the Al Sharptons and them who say this guy was an ex-Marine. He knows what a chokehold does. Right. He should have known that if you put somebody in a chokehold for several minutes, they're going to die. They can't breathe. That's the whole purpose of a chokehold. Thank you. So if you want us to subdue him, aren't you taught as a Marine how to bring somebody down without putting him in a chokehold? Right. Then, there is a fourth one. Then there's people who said, okay, he did that, but where was the police? The train had stopped, the doors had opened. By that time, if there's supposed to be more police in these trains and stuff,
what city was
that would have New York. That would have given them plenty of time to get there and alleviated the situation. So you got a million different paths that you can go with this story. Okay? This is my thing. This story is beyond these two men, in my opinion, because the family is suing. Where was the family?
Who was they suing?
They suing, I don't know. They got a lawyer. They probably suing his family, the guy who passed away. My thing
now all of a sudden they care.
Where were they at?
Thank you. He was homeless.
I'm not saying that you don't have family members that can be homeless. You don't have family members that can have mental illness, and you tried and you did all of this, and then all of a sudden, that's what I'm saying.
It could be that.
But I want to see a history of them trying to get help. Were they trying to get help for him?
Well, they're probably going to investigate. Because if they're going to do a lawsuit, they just can't win money like that.
And then y'all have to look at the history. I looked at the history of him. He had banged on the door of the train people at one time and threatened to kill the lady that was the ticket person.
Oh my! Does he have a weapon?
No, I guess that was the other thing. My mom said he threatened her. He was banging on the door saying, "I'm gonna kill you," and she was inside the booth. So she felt probably not.
Don't like know what he has on,
or probably felt like he can't get in, so I'm good.
Right.
But if he has a history,
nobody's called.
Are the people on the train? So more investigation needs to be. Yeah. Were the people on the train? Because when you ride a train, we know in Chicago, you see the same homeless people all the time,
and you see some of them be twitching like they're gonna try to hurt you. So, but people have gotten used to them. Oh, he's on the train. He's on the train all the time. He don't hurt nobody, even though he's safe.
Do they know this guy and was like, this guy is
ain't no harm.
He's not gonna do nothing. He's just talking.
Or
is he somebody who has hit somebody and done something where people like, oh, heck
remember I told you when I went into Walgreens and I saw this one guy hitting at the air. Yeah.
And I watched.
And I said, manager.
Yeah.
He's in front of the door when people come.
You wasn't at Walgreens. You was at
I was at Walgreens.
Oh, I thought
I went by myself. I was at Walgreens.
What was the guy we saw at the other place? It was a restaurant and we was doing Uber Eats. And I didn't want to go in because he was at the door.
No, that's different. This is when I went by myself to Walgreens.
This was another one where he was yelling, threatening people as they went into the restaurant.
And this one be on the corner a lot, and I see him in the neighborhood, and there's times he'll be talking to himself, and he'll be hitting at the air. And then he was standing in front of the door when you go in and out, so he could have hit somebody who may not be looking. So I'm thinking, manager, you need to call the cops or something because he can hurt somebody. But he's from the neighborhood. He's never had a weapon. But he could actually one day have a weapon.
We saw the last thing where that model was getting out the car and that homeless man came up and hit her across the head with a pole.
Yeah.
And broke half her face.
Yeah.
So you don't know. So I want to know. I know everybody throwing out stuff. I want to know more about what was said when he got on the train. Did he say he was going to kill anybody like he did that lady that was in the ticket booth? Or was he just rambling? If he was just rambling, that's not a reason to get up and put somebody in a chokehold. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is, who is this guy who put him in a chokehold?
Yeah.
Does he have a history? I know he put out a press release saying he didn't mean to kill him and stuff. What, Mom? Yeah, he was an ex-Marine. Does he have a history of racism? Who is his friends? Who are his friends? Uh-huh. Is this guy a vigilante? Does he get in bar fights all the time? Is he always, or is he a guy that always comes to rescue people? And this is the first time it backfired on him. Mm-hmm. So I want to know more of the story before I make a thing on it.
This is one of those cases, unfortunately, the comments that Sonny keeps making, where both of the ladies are right at the table. Alyssa and Sonny have both made comments where people, a lot of times who have mental concerns like this guy, Sonny's always saying they're the victim. They're the victim. Okay. In this case, he could be the victim.
I'm leaning towards him being the victim because the guy was an ex-Marine.
Yes.
If the guy was not an ex-Marine, then I would say he's just some buckethead who put somebody in a chokehold and didn't understand that you can kill somebody putting them in a chokehold.
But the other side of that, like Alyssa said, a lot of times they may be at this level of mental breakdown. Then a weapon comes out and they hurt you.
But the lawyer said he didn't have no weapon. He said he had a t-shirt on. Yeah. And he said you can obviously see he didn't have a weapon. See. So this is my thing. Yeah, once you got him down on the ground and you had him in a chokehold, he
wasn't no threat.
He could have released the chokehold a little bit, and those other two guys was holding his arms. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to keep it on that pressure. He don't even look like a big guy.
It'd be different if he was the size of Floyd.
Yeah. So no, that didn't matter either. Them putting their knee on his.
No, I'm saying if he's a big size, you can take more to hold him down. Oh, well. This little guy, I'm sure the Marine guy could have held him down himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they need to do more investigation. So, we got to hear more about this story.
But I'm leaning, at least in my opinion.
He's not a threat.
I feel like it's just not an open and shut case.
Not a weapon.
I got to hear more. And so, people mad at the mayor of New York because he kind of saying the same thing I'm saying. I want to hear about the investigation before I jump. Before I jump, because people are always mad. And then here's the thing. People protesting. They shutting the trains down. They jumping on the tracks. They might get hit by a train. They may get electrocuted by the third rail. See how people are stupid?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It just happened. And can't they do an investigation before y'all jump into the whole abyss?
And it goes back to some of the situations where something like this happened, where it's a racial thing.
Yeah.
And then people get mad and start burning their neighborhood down.
So if he was a black man who was an ex-Marine and put him into a chokehold, would y'all be still mad?
They'll think about it then. No, maybe not.
Well, maybe we'll wait.
One on white on black crime.
See, it's so stupid.
But I agree with the mayor. Can we investigate?
Can we wait? First? Can we get an investigation?
Simmer down. Okay.
I want to see who these people are. I want to see the history of both of them. Does he have a history of threatening people on the train?
And hopefully this Marine.
And is this Marine, does he have a history of being a buckethead?
Yeah.
And have a temper and fly off at this handle? Okay. Or is this a guy who never gets in trouble, who people, his friends, and even other black people can come and say, that's not him. He wouldn't do that.
Right.
Or if anything, the charge would be involuntary manslaughter, which means I didn't mean to kill you, but because I messed up and made a mistake, I
Yeah.
ended up taking your life.
Yeah.
But I have a question about his family.
Mm-hmm.
Did they try to get him help? Because don't come out now that this is a main story.
Exactly. Because this guy is homeless. So what family
And why
member
is he
has
hungry?
Yeah, what family member hasn't been helping?
Even if he on the street, why is he hungry?
Yeah.
If I have a family member that close to me, he ain't gonna be hungry. Well, my mother said they probably want money.
Using this as a
They shouldn't get any money if they do sue.
Okay.
No money for their family. Sorry. Only to bury him, maybe. That's it.
This not the donkey, is it?
No. Starlight said balance is the key. I'm glad the fiance found out about Ebony before marrying her. Wendy says George Floyd. Yeah. It's giving George Floyd vibes. Scooby-Doo says Starlight. True. Scooby-Doo says it was sickening to me. Thank you, Scooby. Wendy says 15 minutes. That's how long I guess he had the chokehold. Scooby-Doo says they are calling him a hero, not to me. Wendy says too bad murder. Starlight said that was definitely it, was murder. The victim didn't have weapons on him or put hands on anyone. Emerald says Candace Owens is going to get her comeuppance. Candace Owens is a fool. Even if you felt like what the guy did was justified, why would you downplay the fact that an innocent man's life was taken?
She's going by the fact that
I can't stand her.
She's going by the fact that he was threatening people.
Even if he was threatened, if he's crazy, if he has a mental issue, I just don't like her. Starlight said, according to the victim's family, the program didn't help his mental health. Okay, so that answers my question. They did try to get him help, and they did. It didn't help him. Starlight said it's new. It's a new form of lynching. Emerald says, remember that guy who was selling loose cigarettes and they smothered him to death? Oh yeah, by putting all of their combined weight on his chest. I remember that. That was horrible. Police did that. Wendy says he has rights without his family. Scooby-Doo says if two people were helping hold him down, then why did he need to have him in a chokehold? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
If you got two other men there and you an ex-Marine, you can lighten up on that chokehold.
And why wouldn't they monitor the fact that hey man, he look like he's not.
What was the other people doing?
Like
you got stuff on your face.
What
were the other people doing?
It's like they didn't even care at all about his life. He was nothing to them.
What were the people on the other passengers doing?
You know how people have how homeless people have been treated. Some people use them as they do violate them. There's been times when they would in the Chicago one was caught on fire.
Yeah.
They threw fire and oil on them and whatever. So
people treat homeless people like
they're
nothing.
just like trash.
And that's somebody's child.
Remember that movie we saw where Ice-T was in? He was homeless.
Oh yeah,
he was an ex-Marine or something. He was an ex.
And they put him. They was chasing him down and using him as shooting practice.
This white man used him.
The Rich Club.
Rich Club. It was a rich club, and they would grab homeless people
and use them
and put them. In fact, they made another movie similar to that with the black people.
Yeah.
But you had them run out in the field in the woods and see if they can shoot him and mark him.
Yeah.
They couldn't get Ice-T because he was trained.
They didn't know he was an ex-Marine.
They didn't know. Yeah. See, you don't know who you're talking with.
That's the part that gets me though.
Homeless person.
It's the ex-Marine. I'm not looking at how some of y'all look at it as black and white, because some of y'all just racial. All you look at is race. If a white man do something to a black man, y'all quick to say race. Whereas they could just be a horrible person.
Yeah.
I'm not quick to look at race like that, because you play the black card so much. When you finally do play it, nobody wants to listen to you, because you always saying something is black, like Sonny.
Yeah.
Everything is black. Everything is the black man. You against the black man. So when you finally have something that's against the black man, nobody wants to listen to you.
That's why I laugh, because when Sarah said you always do the black card and you always educating us, the king and the queen, that whole monarchy has been a problem with black people. How dare you sit there and enjoy him being king? So you being a hypocrite right now.
So that's my thing, is that it's not so cut and dry all the time. I like to know the people that we're talking about.
Okay.
So that's all my thing is. It's that he was a Marine.
Yeah, he should know better.
Why would you put somebody in a chokehold?
You should know better.
You should know better.
So he apparently he treated him like how what's her name made it sound. He's trash.
Like he was nothing.
You're nothing. How dare you threat? And in fact that he was a mental person. A lot of times people tend to be a little more harder
because they
people with mental breakdowns. How dare you try to threaten these people? I got you. I'm
the hero.
I got him. He ain't gonna hurt none of y'all.
Yeah, I'm the hero.
To the point where
so
he took
that's
his
what
life.
that's what I'm saying. So I want to hear more about the story. I'm leaning towards that he shouldn't have done what he did, and he overextended what he was supposed to do, like you said, because he was homeless. Okay. And he probably felt like he was a piece of trash that could be thrown out. Okay. So I'm leaning towards that. Starlight said, yes, Emerald, I remember the chokehold is a new form of lynching. Emerald says, but we all already know that the Marine will not face charges. Wendy says he could have just retained him. He did not have to kill him. I agree. Starlight said the victim was defenseless, so there was no reason to keep him in a chokehold. Scooby-Doo says no charges are coming, last I heard. Mike is just not coming in. Hey, Mike. Hi, ladies. Mike. Scooby-Doo says M-Perk. Everybody saying hi to Mike. Wendy says Eric Gardner. That's it. That was the one with the cigarettes, y'all. Mm-hmm. And Wendy says he has rights with or without his family. Yeah, we all agree with that.
So let's see if
let's see what develops on this story.
Yeah, because you said what's his name is the black leaders are talking about this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I have a problem.
Go to the donkey.
I'm trying to find it. You put all this other stuff.
I don't know what which one it was.
All right, you can keep talking. Keep going.
About what?
I don't
know.
Did
we even pull it up? Because I didn't know.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
You always want to know who Charlamagne the God's donkey of the day is.
Exactly.
All right. A's announcer Glenn Cooper suspended indefinitely for using the N-word during the broadcast.
Does it talk about him?
Oakland Athletics announcer Glenn, I hope I said his name, Copper, whatever, has reportedly been suspended for using the N-word during a live broadcast Friday night. He remains off the air until a review of the incident is completed, according to the San Francisco Chronicle. He was discussing a trip to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City before Friday night's game. At Kauffman Stadium against the Royals. Here we go. Later in the game, he addressed the incident without going into too much detail. What?
However, instead of
using the word Negro, he used the N-word.
How you gonna make a mistake with that?
ER word, not even
Negro. How you gonna make a mistake and say the N-word with the ER?
He said he went to a trip to the N-word Leagues Baseball Museum.
That means you say that word at home, you white man. You say that word at home. You got so comfortable with it. I don't say Negro. I said the ER word. Out of the heart, the mouth, the abundance of the heart speaks. You true to yourself. It's Negro, John.
He said, welcome back to the Kauffman Stadium. I just wanted to, a little bit earlier in the show, I said something that didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to. And I just wanted to apologize if it sounds different than I meant it to be said.
No.
And like I said, I just wanted to apologize for that.
No. The Negro League.
Now.
That's a word that comes off of our mouth because we use it a lot.
Now, you don't say ER, but you did say ER at one time, and I corrected you.
Oh, yeah, you corrected me because you said if I'm going to say it, don't say it like that.
I don't like saying that word.
But the fact is, Negro League, Black League, Negro League, the NAACP, colored people, these are words that's in our vocabulary. How you going to mix Negro with the N-R word? I don't get it.
ER word.
ER word.
He didn't even say the A at the end.
No.
He said the ER word.
When you told me the story, I said, oh, is he saying it like how we be, like, hey, terms of endearment, hey. Come on now, white man.
He said the ER word.
He needs to be off. I'm sorry. You don't slip and say that. Oh, I'm laughing.
All right.
Oh, God.
Emerald says, just like Paula Dean. Oh, yeah, when Paula Dean made a mistake and said the ER word.
That is not a mistake. That means you guys say that word a lot.
We had an N-word living with us.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm on the air now. I can't say
I
what I say.
a colored woman.
She was a Negro.
Wendy says he could have restrained him. Wendy's still on. What's his name? Oh. Starlight said, yep, he said that word at home. All right, and got too comfortable. And Starlight said he could keep his apology.
Yeah, thank you. That's just one word you don't mix with the Negro word. I'm sorry.
So that was your donkey of the day.
He is a donkey, big donkey, and he may lose his job for that. Your one guy that you like on the Seinfeld. He said it off camera though, didn't he?
No, he was on stage. Kramer.
He said the N-word.
Yep, Kramer said it. Right? Well, they was heckling him. A black man was heckling him.
Yes.
And he said it's the word over and over again. Yeah. And he got hit with that. He got hit with strap metal for that.
Yeah.
Starlight said it's not a mistake. And Scooby-Doo said Paula said that over 25 years ago. Yep.
Yeah.
So Paula's back. She's trying to, and that's when they always, all of a sudden, we all become their best friend.
Yeah.
And I do believe, because like I told you, you said it. It was in your vocabulary, the ER word.
I was saying it being like that. I wasn't saying it like in terms of endearment. Because I don't use it like terms of endearment like you do.
But I believe that people can change and get better or whatever. Because some of y'all use the F word for gay people.
Yeah.
Or you've used it in the past. Or we saw this lady come over here. I don't want to say too much because they may watch the show. Well, she don't watch our show. Mm-hmm. And she said, did she say Chinaman?
She said, no, she said Oriental.
Oriental.
I said, we
don't say that
We're not politically correct all the time.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm old school, y'all. Got to bring up an old show. The Jeffersons. And you know, in the Jeffersons.
Oh, they said everything.
No. The Jeffersons.
He called him an H word and everything.
No, not him. Let me finish my story.
Go ahead.
The Jeffersons, what's her name? The black lady and the white husband.
Yeah.
They had an episode where George kind of challenged him. You know, you said the N-word to your wife when y'all get real heated and angry.
Yeah.
And he thought about it. He said, Helen, I've never
said the N-word?
Have I ever said the N-word to you? She said you probably thought it. He had to sit back and think. Did I think that word about my wife?
Probably could
have. That's a good
one.
With an interracial couple.
Because how is that different? When you want to hurt somebody, that's why Whoopi said when she in the car and somebody cut her off, whatever you are, she hits below the belt. When people want to be mad at somebody, but here's the thing with this guy. He wasn't mad at anybody.
No, he was just
so that word is in his vocabulary. He's not even being mad at anybody. If he was mad, it'd be like a bunch of ends rattling up, then you could be like, he was
he's
mad.
Angry. It came out.
But he said
today
I went to the N-word league of baseball players.
Dude, you said it like it was just a natural place.
Like it slipped off his tongue. Like that's what he says all the time. Let's see. Emerald says Paula probably still uses it. Starlight says hee haw. Emerald says she just looks around first to make sure the coast is clear. And Scooby says Emerald. Laugh out loud. Wendy says,
am I being recorded?
Wendy says Lenny Kravitz's mother. Starlight says, I remember that Jefferson's episode.
Yep. Poor Tom.
So that was the donkey of the day. I had like 6 other stories.
That's a good donkey of the day because a lot of people are doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
They just keep it on the down low. It's a home conversation, private. Who has been recording it? The one.
He was on the.
No, it was some people that have been caught recording and
themselves
saying that word or whatever. Come on.
So we'll see what happens with this. You can't say the N-word, dude. Yeah. Even he would have got in trouble. The A on the end. They would have got him anyway.
We've had a discussion where white kids are saying the N-word.
He would have got it
with
anyway.
The A-H.
He would have got it. Just leave it out of your... I don't understand why white people don't understand. Don't go anywhere near it.
I don't know.
Don't do N-words. Don't say monkey. None of hostile.
I'm sorry. That man on Bridgerton looked like a monkey.
Well, 50 Cent looked like a gorilla.
Oh my God.
And that's not racist. 50 Cent looks like a gorilla.
We can only say it though. Because Roseanne Barr said it about
Roseanne said Obama is that lady, and she does.
She do look like that light-skinned, fair-skinned monkey.
She's good looking, no. She's not ugly. She looks like the lady in the Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
The female doctor. and
and
that's racist. But you can't say that as white people.
I know.
Now we can punch up. Like David Letterman said,
yes.
We're on the bottom of the pole, so we can talk about y'all.
Yes.
But y'all can't talk about us. Because y'all are higher on the pole of insults.
Thank you.
But we can punch up and say y'all look like birds. Because a lot of white people look like birds.
They do.
But are fishes.
Oh, that's
but
wrong,
y'all can't punch down. If I say you look like a fish or a bird, you can't turn around and say, well, you look like a monkey.
Ooh.
No one would hear that I said you look like a bird or a
They would
fish.
hear the monkey comment.
They would hear you called a black woman a monkey.
Shame on you, George.
But she called me a bird. They don't want to hear about it.
George, you do look like a bird. Don't call her a monkey, though.
It's just that's the way it is. I'm sorry.
I know. It's people think that's not fair, but
it's not fair. I agree with you.
Like
men, women can talk about y'all. We can talk about y'all. We can say y'all have hips. We can say that y'all have no butt. We can say that you have breasts as men. But if you turn around and talk about a woman's body.
But remember Sinbad was stalking his wife.
Oh yeah, you dragging that.
I like to look at you, baby, dragging your butt all in the sand.
Yeah. I can say that Bow Wow looks like a snowman.
Wow, I gotta look at some photos.
But Bow Wow can't turn around and say, well, you fat. You look like a big fat slob.
Oh.
People will be like, did you hear Bow Wow attack that lady and called her fat?
But you know
she said he looked like a snowman. It doesn't matter.
But don't you think comedians can get away with it, though?
It's just not fair.
Yeah.
Life's not fair, guys.
A comedian coming at you, Martin Lawrence, gonna call you fat, Kim.
Yes.
He'll get away with it because he's Martin Lawrence.
You can trip a adult and everybody will laugh. Yeah. But if you trip a kid, everybody will be mad
at you.
Yeah. Or a baby. Some babies be walking and I want to push them. and then people would say that's wrong.
That's mean, Kim.
They be walking like this, and I just want to go like, boop.
Remember
those, and they fall over.
Remember those
Y'all
shoes,
would be mad if I did
those
that.
hard shoes we had that you had no choice but to stand.
Yeah,
because they were so hard and bottom.
Right. But a kid can trip me all day long and everybody will laugh. So that's just the way it is, y'all. You can punch up like Dave Chappelle said.
Yeah.
You can punch up, but you can't punch down. You can punch up.
Okay.
But not down. If somebody already down and you gonna punch them down even more.
Already stepped on us.
You can't do that.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, we really went over.
They can't even say, oh, wait a minute. Y'all was typing. Starlight says she remembers the Jeffersons episode. Emerald says they can't even say my nism. Oh, yeah, that lady got in trouble for saying my nism.
Thank you.
Just stay away from any N-words.
Thank you.
Starlight said, thank you. It's a home conversation. Wendy says, Lenora, God made him. I don't know who you was talking about. Emerald says, that Bridgerton man was burnt. Oh, because you must have said, because remember Wendy like that guy that Usher, whatever that guy is, Wendy, that I think is ugly.
That man looks better. Emerald, send out a picture of that man. That man is ugly.
But Wendy probably like
and
guys.
His hair is up.
Wendy like men
and
that
poor
like that.
His poor wife had to deal with him until he passed away.
Wendy probably wish she was on the show right now on Friday because she want to say something so bad.
I think
because I'm saying
Kodo. That's it.
Because I'm saying she like
Kodo looked much better than this man.
All right. Emerald says that Bridgerton man was burnt.
Yes.
Starlight says, and see, white people, you can't say that.
Yeah, you can't.
We can say burnt.
Yeah.
Y'all can't say that man on Bridgerton is burnt.
Yeah. See.
You see?
You got to be careful. But like what you... Oh, you keep reading?
Yeah, I had to go back up. Emerald says, no, they made him to look that way because his wife was young and beautiful.
Y'all think that was makeup?
So you could understand her disdain during the intimacy.
Oh, she would always take a bath after they would have sex.
Let's see. M. Perk says, Mike says, I still do not get using the N-word regardless of the ending. I agree. Even though I do use it, Mike. Yeah. I use the A-word.
Mike, you know what, Mike?
Lenore don't use it, I use it.
No, Mike, you're not going to win that argument. Not with our people.
Yeah.
Because Oprah Winfrey really
Yeah.
tries to, and I think they respect her and don't do it around her.
Yeah.
But hey, they gonna say what they gonna say.
Emerald says, I agree, Mike. Mike says, also, the Marine was trained on what is deadly force and when you can use it. That's my gripe.
Police are too.
That's my gripe. When police and anybody that's trained does things that normal, regular people do, and they end up hurting somebody.
Common sense. Do you need to go that extreme?
I agree. Emerald says, I agree, Mike. Oh, Mike gave $5. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
And y'all know y'all can always do super chats, just so y'all know.
Okay. Thank you.
Wendy says, Yafet Kodo Ving Rhymes. She's still pitching that guy that you showed me that picture.
If y'all saying that he had, if y'all saying, yeah, I think he's not bad looking.
Ving Rhymes looks better than him.
I don't care. I still think that those men are Emerald sent her a photo of that man on Bridgerton.
Can we look it up? Because I'm tired of you. Let's look this up.
I don't think it's going to show the same way. Because they may not have a picture of him like that.
I know we going overboard.
No, you're not going to be able to show that photo because it's part of the movie.
What is it? Bridgerton?
Bridgerton. It's
What's the name of the
Queen
movie?
Charlotte.
Bridgerton. Queen.
If y'all saying that he had makeup on and stuff, okay.
Queen Charlotte cast. All right, let's look at this
and
guy.
The reason why,
which one is he? Let's see.
I don't
Hold
think
on. Is he here? Is this him?
See, he must have makeup.
Is this
on.
him?
Yeah, he looks better there.
That's okay. That's why Emerald
is that
said,
him?
Emerald said they made him look worse.
Oh, Emerald, they did. They really did.
Okay, that's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they made him look. Oh my god.
Well, she said it's part of the storyline.
I couldn't hardly watch the show because of that man. When he would get off out of the little carriage and he'd sit there, he'd be like this.
Yeah, he's not bad on here.
No, he's not bad on here.
Okay.
So I apologize, you guys, making him think that.
That's why I wanted to show it, because he keeps talking about this man.
They made him look, and it does make sense because they had to make him look like that so we can go feel sorry for her, his wife.
Oh, okay.
She was young and pretty. Oh, poor thing.
Let me see. Where's
his character?
Yeah, I want to see the way they made him look, because you keep on. I know we over time, but this is worth it. What is it, Queen? What is it, Bridgerton? Oh, is that it? Is that him?
They're not gonna show him like that. That one picture.
That's him.
And he smiles with his hair up more.
That's not that bad.
Him on TV. No, I'm sorry. He was not good looking.
But you made me think he was like Miles Davis.
I think Miles Davis looked better than him.
No, absolutely not.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, hold on now.
Everybody.
The devil is a lie.
Emerald,
everybody calm down.
Emerald and his makeup on Bridgerton.
The young
Miles Davis looked better.
The young Miles Davis, not the old Miles Davis.
Well, I can't remember the old.
See, the young Miles Davis.
The older one still, Kim. I got to show you him on the show, okay?
That's Miles Davis. No, Lenore, I'm sorry. That's Miles Davis. So stop, Lenore. The devil's a liar. Okay, so let's go back. That man looks better than Miles Davis. Stop it, Lenore. Come on now.
They're the same.
Lenore, come on.
They're the same.
Come on. Stop it, Lenore.
Oh my God.
And Miles Davis had the most beautiful women.
Well,
so they don't care.
Well, he married Cicely Tyson later too. Remember?
Yeah. So nobody cares what you look like, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So stop, Lenore.
They did a good makeup job then, because I was like,
that's what Emerald said. They was making him look.
Okay.
The picture they showed of him, and I wanted to do that.
Look better
because you keep talking about this man, and I know we only got 5 people that watch us, but in case this show takes off, I don't want to go back and they say. You was dogging this man
really
out.
Look like
he didn't look that bad.
Okay, they played him up really well.
Let me see.
In Bridgerton.
M. Perk laughing. Starlight said, "I want to see the photo. We just showed y'all." Wendy says, "Check text." What you said? Another video, another photo, Wendy. Oh, Ving Rhymes. Yeah, I like Ving Rhymes.
He's handsome. Yes.
I don't have no problems with Ving Rhymes.
And like I said earlier,
I didn't say handsome, but I don't have. You can't see. I don't have a problem with Ving Rhymes.
Yeah. And Yvette Kodo. He's fine. He's okay. Yeah.
Who?
The one I showed you the other day.
Ving Rhymes, I don't have a problem with Ving Rhymes.
Even
the other guy.
Even the one that was married, that was engaged to what's her name we don't like. Well, she's okay. She's not nice. It was her fiance, and he died.
I don't think he's good looking at all.
He's not bad looking. He'd look better than that man on Bridgerton, the made up man.
Yeah,
he's not bad looking.
No, he don't look better than the real man on Bridgerton. The real picture of the guy.
I put him in the same category.
Really?
Yeah, as far as the darkness and it. What's his name that was?
And I'm not racial because the white guy don't look good either.
What's the name of the guy that was engaged to Omarosa?
Oh,
and he did that movie.
The movie, Green Mile.
Green Mile. What's his name? He passed away. What's that actor name? Wendy, I know you know him.
Green Mile.
That guy. I was surprised he was engaged to her.
Michael Clark is not bad.
She's not a nice person. I don't know what he saw in her.
But Michael Clark, I think
he seemed like a really nice guy.
I mean, that's not the best picture of him. But I don't think Michael Clark is that bad.
She was engaged to him.
No, the other guy don't look as good. I think he don't look as good as Michael Clark. I'm sorry. See, that's different.
Yeah.
Where Wendy said.
Real nice guy.
Homicide, Life on the City.
Okay.
No, Ving Rhames is fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go back up and then we'll sign off. I want to see a photo. Check text. Emerald Miles looks handsome in comparison to that guy, I guess, the made-up guy. Starlight says, she said, no, I'm sorry. Wendy says, I was raised not to make fun of people. Well, you wouldn't be in this family because that's all we do. Mm-hmm. Cousins, everybody. Mm-hmm. Emerald says, I don't know how to add the photo to the chat. And Wendy says, Miles Davis was married to Cicely Tyson. Mm-hmm. Emerald says, the intimate scenes, they really went in.
Yeah, I felt bad for her, though.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So don't forget to pick up our book, 100 Family-Friendly Jokes. The text is in the description. Mm-hmm. You can also look it up on Amazon. 100 Family-Friendly Jokes by the Woods Report. Mm-hmm. If you listen to our jokes of the day. Emerald says, we are not making fun, Wendy. The maid a point to build his character that way. He was made up to be old and unattractive. If he was, I would make fun of him.
We are making fun of him, Emerald. That's you, girlfriend.
Even if they did make him
One thing about our family, we
talk about everybody.
We play the dozens. We crack.
My family talk about us. They talk about me being fat.
You can't be sensitive in this family.
Our cousins, we crack on each other.
The low hanging fruit has always been our side.
Some families,
and we look at you and go, "You got anything else?"
Some families crack on each other. We crack on each other's noses. Yeah. If whatever it is, somebody, even if it's made up, they'll make up something.
We had a friend of the family when we were somewhere, and I think it may not have been about you, but one of the girls sat on the floor, and once she sat down,
everybody went boom.
He went boom. So people were like, "Oh no, he didn't say that." Some people are kind of like they don't like. They feel like, "Ooh, that's you kind of cracking on somebody."
That's our family. Our family cracks on each other. Mm-hmm. So we make fun of everybody. Mm-hmm.
You sure you want to hang out with us?
Wendy says, are you kicking me out of the family? No.
You sure you want to hang out with us?
If we with somebody and they don't do it, we don't do it to them.
Yeah, if we feel like you're not liking it.
If you're not a person that, because I have a friend, he's my guy friend. We've been together for a long time. Mm-hmm. He don't crack on people. I never crack on him because he don't crack on people. Mm-hmm. And he looks at it when we crack on each other like, ooh.
That's mean. Yeah.
He thinks it's mean. Mm-hmm. But we don't crack on him because he don't crack. So we wouldn't crack on you, Wendy, if you don't do it.
You do it in a way where you still kind of, like if you say, I see you wearing that white shirt. And
I don't crack on him. Like I don't say, oh, you
physical.
Yeah. I may say something humorous, but I don't crack on him because he don't crack on people.
Yeah.
So we match you where you are. Yeah. Now, if you say something, all gloves is on.
Popping.
That means, you crack too.
Yeah.
Oh, so let's go now. We're going to be doing this.
Because I've been with some people who didn't know that I cracked, and then they say, oh, you got jokes. Okay. Right. So, when they say that, they coming at you.
Right. My family cracks too, so we're going to be at each other.
Oh, she got jokes.
My best friend don't crack.
She sure don't.
My best friend don't crack. And when we was in college together, I would crack on people, and she would be like, she'll snickle because she know it's funny. But she don't crack on nobody.
She sure don't. I don't think I've ever.
A lot of people don't, Wendy. You're not
alone.
You're not abnormal. A lot of people don't. They that's
don't
mean.
like do that, and they may not have done that as a child too.
Yeah, they don't crack. They don't talk bad on each other and stuff like that.
That's true.
But if you're from the Wayans family or something,
oh Lord,
I'm talking about your crooked leg, your big head,
you got something hanging from your nose. What was you doing?
You walk around with boogers hanging out your nose with a left shoe.
You gonna go out with that hairstyle?
You get cracked on. Let me see. Wendy says, okay, kick it out of the family. No, Emerald's laughing. Emerald says, I love it. We crack over here too. People watching is a sport. And Starlight said, exactly. That's part of the culture to roast. All right, y'all. So that's it. We went on late. We went 2 hours.
I think we get too relaxed now. It's that the show's
later.
You know what?
It's later, and because we've done all our work for the day. Whereas before, I'm like, we got stuff we gotta do. But we gotta hone this in, y'all.
Okay.
I don't like 5-hour streams.
Yeah.
This not Twitch. Some people have 5 hours. Yeah.
They do?
Oh, yeah. They'll
the Breakfast Club is 4 hours, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they go for a long time. Yeah. So we have to watch that.
Okay.
Emerald says, Starlight said exactly. That's part of the culture. Emerald says, if we are somewhere and can be out loud, we tap or squeeze each other's hands. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So I got a lot of stories for tomorrow that I didn't get to today.
Okay.
We'll do them tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But even some political, we didn't even do the political stuff.
Yeah, we did.
But not really. Trump, town hall with CNN, and it was some other stuff that's going on. The bill that Biden passed. The immigrant. That's coming to that 42.
What does that mean? 42?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
That's true.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow. And whatever happens, hopefully it won't be nothing crazy overnight.
All right.
Starlight says, good night, ladies, in chat room, and be safe. Thank you guys.
Be safe.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Always believe. And that was another Woods Report. See y'all tomorrow. God say the same.